So hi, my name is Tabitha. I'm the artist from the night, and I was asleep and got woken up from a good dream of magical sandwiches.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Bramster Show, episode 91. I'm Draconusx, and with me today, I got the wonderful Bamm Havoc.
Hello guys, just a quick one, Drac. You know when I said wheel that dumpster fire in, I didn't actually think you'd wheel the dumpster fire in.
Be careful what you ask for.
Hello guys, my name is Bamm Havoc. Drac has dragged me along, kicking and screaming, to have a bit of a discussion with you guys today. We've got two random as hell topics that we're going to discuss because we can't think of anything better to discuss. My topic is a PC better than a laptop? And is a laptop better than a console? You know, those topics, because I am in the market for a PC or a laptop and I can't decide which one. Yes, I'm a console gamer, but I need, you know, the laptops or the PCs. Drac's going to help me discuss this topic. Drac, what is your topic today?
Man, the only things I got on my mind are the new games coming out, especially Destiny 2 for the PC, which starts tomorrow. And that's where my head is right now, Destiny 2, because I finally get to play it on the PC.
Okay, let me shoot Destiny 2 in the face and make it look like the hot mess it really is. Why Destiny 2, Drac? Why you Destiny, bro?
Honestly, because I never really played Destiny 1. I didn't even get a PS4 until recently, and so I'm finally going to be able to play it on my preferred platform. The game itself, I've read a lot of the stuff that's come out, you know, a lot of reviews and critiques about story and this, that, and the other thing, but I think the biggest draw, at least for PC folks, is we are finally getting to play Destiny on the PC.
Have you read about the paid content?
Yeah, the shaders and whatnot. Honestly, I don't care. I'm not going to spend money on it.
Well, for me, when it comes to Destiny 2, I haven't played it. I played the demo, or the beta as everyone calls it, but it's a demo. And I thought the connection from 1 to 2, the line drawn was so scribbled that it hasn't really enticed me to pick up Destiny 2. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to be playing it because everybody else is playing it and I'm one of them sheeple. But you know when a 2-year-old gets a crayon and just randomly scribbles on a piece of paper? That's what Destiny 1 was like, and connecting it to Destiny 2 is the same sort of scribbling, just random nonsense everywhere. I can't put down, you know, an exact reason why I dislike the game because I haven't played it, so I can't really offer an opinion. But I know a lot about Destiny 1. I played that game to within an inch of its life. Completed all the raids, blah de blah de blah de blah, done all the things, blah de blah de blah de blah, and for the most part, I really enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the way it played. I enjoyed the teamwork in the raids. I really enjoyed it. But the one thing that killed it for me was the storytelling and the story, because there is no story. It's just mixy blobbed things just randomly thrown at the wall, and whatever stuck got put onto the game. And I don't think that's a really good thing. You know, here's me ripping the shit out of Bungie, Activision, or Backtivision rather. You know, it's kind of worrying because I feel that they've taken all the good out of what the game could be and can be and just forgotten. And reading all this stuff about the articles about the shaders and the articles about the pay-to-win stuff, not really pay-to-win, the stuff you want to pay for and all that stuff, how they're forcing you to, not forcing you, but they're making you spend money, you know, the loot boxes and whatever have you. It's kind of disconcerting. They want your money. What happened to the £60 game that had everything? Now you've got to pay £60 for a base game and then get the season pass and pay more money for the season pass to get the second part of the game and then pay more DLC for the more of it. It's like, oh, what happened to £60 being just the value of the game and that was it?
Well, you know, there's really two sides to that argument. I mean, we could probably do an entire block just on that. Of course, I'd want to do a little more research before we talked about it, but games have been $60 like for going on like 15, 20 years now. And making games, the cost of making a game has only increased. And so you've got the developer side of it where they're saying, you know, the price of games hasn't gone up, but the cost of making them has. And so they're trying to find other ways to make money, which is these things like these loot boxes and different types of season passes and things like that to bring in more money to extend, you know, their ability to make these games and make a profit from the games. But then you've got, you know, the other side of things where you've got the gamer perspective that's like, you know, I bought this game and I don't want to have to be nickel and dime to death just to play the game if I want to be able to keep up with other people. Now, on the PC side, we're used to, especially in MMOs and stuff, where you have these microtransactions all the time. And typically, as long as it's cosmetic stuff, it's no big deal. Because if you really want your character to be able to look a certain way, then you spend the money on it, and it's worth it to you. But if you don't care, you don't have to. And as long as it's not something that affects like PvP gameplay, giving people an edge because you can just go in and buy the most powerful weapon in the game and kick everybody's ass with it, then it's not that big a deal. But yeah, like I said, two sides. There's a lot more detail that could probably go into it than that. But you kind of gave a dig at the story from Destiny 1, and honestly I think for PC players that's something where we're coming in with a little bit of an advantage, because for folks who play mainly or exclusively on PC might not have really paid attention much to the story, or as some people would say, to the threads of different story bits that were in Destiny 1. So we're coming into the game more fresh. And I think that may actually be an advantage on our part. And
I actually envy you. I really do envy you. You've nailed down the 2 points. It's the fact that there was zero story. I say zero story, but there was very little story that wove or weaved all the season pass expansion bits and pieces together to make them one epic moment and one epic game, as well as the, as you said, nickel and diming and all the bits and pieces in Destiny 2, and how they've managed to marry 1 and 2 together is quite piss poor, in my opinion.
One, I think you mentioned something. I thought I heard you mention something about like throwing spaghetti at the wall or something like that, and whatever stuck. I from the sounds of the criticisms I've heard of the story of Destiny 1, that really does sound like it was people maybe in different groups in different conference rooms or something saying, oh, this would be cool if we did this or we did that, and they wanted to encompass these different things, but they just didn't spend the time really developing and fleshing it out.
And the fact that the story writer, the main story guy, either quit, ran away, or got fired. There's a whole hot fire of burning trash that started the whole problems, whatever have you. Even the musical guy sued them for the music rights there's a whole lot of drama behind Destiny 1. And yeah, I think before we go into the microtransactioning you to death versus the games cost more to make debate, we need to do a bit more research into both sides, I think, before we go there. But those are the 2 key points that have actually switched me off buying Destiny 2 and buying anything from Bungie, even though they've only got 1 game. Let's do a bit more research before we jump into those. Drac, do you want to discuss my topic tonight, my good man?
Why, certainly.
Oh God, there goes the burning trash fire running past me now.
Whoa.
Your
Are you telling me you're not a Stooges fan?
No,
are you seriously telling me you're not a Stooges fan?
No, I'm not. It's terrible. 3 Stooges are terrible.
You're terrible.
Chaplin.
You're
Chaplin.
terrible.
Now no, Chaplin. Now Chaplin's where it's at, boy. Chaplin.
Hey, Chaplin was good in his day too.
Bro.
Yeah.
Had his day. Still having his day, bro. Still having his day. Anyway, your accents are terrible. I'll leave it there for everyone else to decide.
Damn right, my accents are terrible. I'm American. We can't do accents.
You've got an accent. You all sound funny.
Well, that's the American accent.
No, American. I don't really think you're allowed to call yourself American, because that's more South, isn't it? I think Jolly might find it offensive. You guys call it America.
I'm
Jolly
further south than Jolly. Just saying. San Diego is, I think, maybe with the exception of parts of Texas or Florida, I'd have to look at it. Those actually probably go further south, but I'm further south than Jolly is.
I can't believe you just said that. So Jolly's actually quite sort of north, is he? So he's quite north. He's not from the south. He's from the north, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that. He's further north than I am, but he's not in the north.
Hang on, but he's north compared to California, and California we know is the most hippie liberal state out there. So you're more south than the right wing Georgians.
No. He's not further south. See, the thing you got to understand about California is it takes up, I'd say, probably more than half the western coast of the U.S. So, and depending on where Jolly is in Georgia, he might be further south than I am. So I can't say with 100% certainty, but it'd be pretty close.
Hey, dude, 1% is still 1%. From now on, I know you're further south than Jolly, and Jolly's actually from the north, so he's not really a Georgian.
So,
ooh, them's fighting words. I want to get berated by Jolly in the chats tonight. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Drac, my man, you know my laptop is 10 years old, near enough. I bought it in 2000. No, it's not 10 years old. Actually, it is. No, it's 7 years old. I bought it in 2010 before I went to, Afghan, Rakistan, whatever you want to call it. And it survived quite literally the wars and the horrors and all the bits and pieces. And now it's falling apart. You tell me to get a PC when I'm thinking, laptops serve me well. Why do you want me to get a PC than a laptop? Why? For the same monies, I can get a laptop that can last me another 7 years. Will a PC last me 7 years, Drac, without having to modify it?
Better question is, will your laptop last you 7 years without being able to, or without having to modify it? Because you probably won't be able to modify it much. And as far as will it run 7 years? Yeah, sure. Is it going to be able to play the games that you want to play on PC the way that you want to play them over the next 7 years? Maybe not. It depends on how much money you spend on it, and even then, probably not. So that's really the thing. Is with a PC, especially if you custom build something, you can put the kind of hardware in that you want to put into it, and then 5-6 years from now, if things are running slow and you're not able to run it quite, bump everything up to the settings you want to see. If you've got a 4K monitor and you want to run it, Destiny 4K 60 hertz, and you need more power, then you can pay to have a new graphics card put in or add some memory to it.
Okay, and my comeback to that was, it's an old laptop. I bought it way back when i3 was the new hot sauce for laptops, dual core, graphics card, the whole lot, right?
My God, dude, you just made me shudder all over the place when you said i3.
I know, right? I know. I'm just as embarrassed when every time I open it, I see the little sticker saying, Intel, iCore, Joule, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, the sticker looks so cool. 7 years on. Yeah, no. just no.
Is that back when the commercials were like the guy throwing the baseball or something, and then the pitcher throws the baseball and the guy at the batting mound is waiting for it, and then it would come up on screen and it's like, still loading? Is your processor too slow? Upgrade to Intel.
Yep, that's exactly it. Now, I don't necessarily use my laptop for gaming per se. If a game can run on my laptop, cool, I'll play it. I quite like my nostalgia games when it comes to Westwood Studios. I love Westwood Studio games, and that's what I tend to run around on. I don't necessarily play hardcore PC games like Destiny or what's that new Battle Royale shooter that was getting sued because it was more Battle Royale than the other?
Fortnite.
That's it, thank you, Fortnite. And PlayerUnknown was going to sue. Yeah, I can't play games like that because my little laptop is just going to melt itself. And yes, I have had to upgrade the poor thing. I've had to get a new cooling system because it decided to die, a new fan, all that stuff, and I've had to upgrade the RAM, which, it's nice to have. What advantage? Because I've got a console, right? And that's where I do most of the majority of my gaming. And I do my editing on this laptop. Yes, you can still edit on this laptop quite well. As long as I'm doing over an hour, it's probably fine. But moving from a laptop to a PC, I think I'll be converting to a PC gamer, a full-fledged a master race, a master that thing. I don't, but I want to play my console because I prefer my console. I'm just scared it's going to take me to the PC Master Race away because I want to play on my new shiny new PC. Why a laptop over a PC? You say parts are easy to upgrade. I know G's having an issue with his Mac after an STD coffee incident. Well,
if he hadn't tried to give his Mac tea, then he probably wouldn't be having problems with it.
Well, it was an STD coffee tea incident with grit, was it not?
It's funny when I hear you talking about playing games on the console and wanting to get a PC but being afraid. This sounds like you're in a bad relationship, dude. Like you can't break the chains and get out of that bad relationship and get to the new.
Says the man who's bought himself a PS4 and has bought himself, and I can't believe I'm saying this, a Nintendo Switch. I can't believe you forced me to say Nintendo Switch on this podcast.
I never said it that I was against console gaming as an addition to PC gaming when there are titles that you don't have access to, but if you have a choice, why not pick PC, man?
Well, here's the thing, right? PlayStation 4 in the UK right now costs about £230, and you can then buy a year's worth of PlayStation Network for £40. So let's say £270 gets you, the ability to play games at home. Can I get a PC that can run those same games for £270? Like Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, those first-person shooters that I play on my console.
See, now I don't know the exchange rate, but I'm going to say probably not.
Let's just say, I'd like to say back about a year ago before Brexit it was around 2 to 1, but right now let's just say it's 1 to 1, because I think the pound has crashed that much.
Wow, no, you're not even, you wouldn't be able to put
let's say
much together for that. But and that is actually the good argument of why console versus PC, because PC is more expensive, so it makes console easier to get into. Plus the consoles, typically they have that lifespan of, what is it, like 5 to 7 year lifespan before it goes to a new edition console.
Yeah, so £270 over, okay, you've got to keep spending the 40 quid, so God, I'm tired, all right, my maths is slow. Let's say £450 gets you the ability to play for 4 years. Can I get that from a PC?
Not probably with the same kind of performance, I would say. But again, I would have to sit there and I'd have to really run numbers. It's been probably, it's been at least a few years since I've done hardware research on PCs, just because the only time I do the research is when I'm building a new one. So I built mine several years ago, and the only thing that I've changed out in it since then has been the video card, because I wanted to get mine VR ready. The old video card I had was actually running fine, but I wanted the ability to go to VR when I had the money to go to VR, so I upgraded the video card. Okay, so what are you currently running in your bits and pieces right now? Okay, so I've got an Intel i7. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, and I'm running an NVIDIA 1080 video card that's got, I think it's like 2 gigs of RAM on it itself. I have a couple of solid state drives that I run. It's not necessary, and you can set up a system without them, but I just prefer to do that so that I get a little extra speed, especially starting up the computer. With all those bits and pieces, how long will that PC last you? You said you've already switched out to a better graphics card so you can make yourself VR ready. Yay, VR ready. How much did you spend on that PC, and how long ago have you had it? Well, like I said, I threw a couple of solid state drives in there that would be unnecessary for a build, but because I wanted to. I got a nice, shiny case with some extra lights, and I went a little high on the power supply. All that taken into consideration, I already had a monitor, so I didn't buy a monitor, keyboard, or mouse. So just for the box and the parts inside the box, I spent a little under $2,000. And I'll get at least probably 6 or 7 years, maybe even longer, out of that machine. And the only thing else that I'll probably do to it in that time frame is at some point I may upgrade from 16 to 32 gigs of memory, which again is not necessary, but with some of the video editing stuff that I've been doing, especially lately, I may end up doing that just because I want to. So you're going to get about 5 to 7 years out the PC itself. I mean, you didn't have to change the graphics card, you don't have to change the RAM. To be brutally honest, you wouldn't have to buy a monitor because you've got a TV. Plug it into TV. That's my thinking on it. Yeah, and like I said, I went a little higher end with some of that stuff because of what I do with this, and it's not just a gaming machine, but producing audio and video stuff and some of the other things I do. This is for me at least, this is my main source of entertainment, not just for playing video games, but for other things as well. So I do a lot of different things on the machine. You could build a gaming system for quite a bit less than this and get a similar lifetime out of it. But when I sit down to play a game, I want to be able to push things to the max and know that it's going to run without any problems. That's fair enough. Where did you actually go ahead and get your parts from, Drac? Because I'm actually quite keen to get myself sorted in this
aspect.
Well, this is where I'll say I wish we were sponsored by Newegg. No, I love Newegg because of the fact that living here in California, they've got one of their warehouses here in California. So when I order stuff for them, I just tell it, standard shipping. It doesn't charge me anything extra. But a lot of times, I'd say probably 60 to 70% of the time, if it's in a warehouse here in California coming to me, I get it the next day without paying for any extra. And their customer service for me has always been excellent. Anytime I've ever had an issue or a question, they've been right on the ball. So I do like Newegg. Every once in a while, I find a cheaper price on Amazon, and I may order from Amazon. But that's where I get most of my parts. There's a website called PCPartPicker.com that if you're interested in building a new PC and you want to play around with some of the different hardware in there to try and find a price that'll work for you, that site's great because not only does it allow you to pick all the different hardware that you're interested in, but it'll even tell you things like what kind of power supply, how much power you're going to need for that setup. And it kind of spiders out into several different other retail sites, and we'll give you prices for that. So you can see if it would be cheaper to go to Amazon or go to Tiger Direct or Newegg. And sometimes it might be cheaper to go to those different sites and order from like 4 different sites. Sometimes it's just easier and you're not actually going to miss that much money if you just order from all in one place. So I think the last time when I built this system, it must have been at least 2-3 years back now, that I think I got most everything from Newegg, but I may have ordered some things like the motherboard or something else from Amazon.
It sounds like this is more of a hobby than an actual piece of utility. Now I was thinking I could go down to like the local store and buy a PC there. Clearly, if I want to get the bits I want to do the job I want, I mustn't go to a store where they'll just give me a generic system that can just about do everything I want, like a jack of all trades. Whereas if I go for the PC part picker and Neweggy type places over here in the UK, I can get the system I want to do the job I want, which is also some too video editing, audio creation, and yes, maybe 1 or 2 games.
Right. So anytime you start to consider building your own computer, you got to take several things into consideration. First of all is going to be what is it that you want it for? What kind of tasks are you going to be doing on that machine? And fair warning, if you're going to build your own machine, typically it's probably going to cost you more to get all of these parts separately and build it yourself than if you go someplace, like one of the retail stores in your local area. You may be able to get something similar. It just depends on how picky you are with your hardware. And over the years, I've become very picky with the hardware that I like to put in. Certain brand names for me have become important because of either how they perform versus other brands or what their customer service is like. For instance, the NVIDIA video card I've been going with EVGA for years because their customer service has been really great. And some of the memory that I've used in my systems was, I like to stick to OCZ if I can, either with the memory or with the solid state drives, because of the fact that their customer service went above and beyond for me the first time I ever even had to interact with them. I had put memory in an old system that I built, and then it was about 6 months later I decided to add more memory because I had enough money to get it to where I originally wanted it to be when I was building the machine. But there had been a change in some of the format, and so even though the memory that I put in the machine was exactly the same in every area but one, that one little area made it incompatible. And when I called their company up to tell them what had happened, they sent me brand new memory to replace everything in the box, not just the stuff that I had just bought or the old stuff that I had. They sent me all new memory and told me just to put it all in. So for me, I get kind of picky with the hardware, and it is going to cost me a little more money than a lot of times if I go down. But if you look at some of the Alienware systems, sometimes those systems cost more than what I put together. And if you want to purchase a quote-unquote gaming laptop, if you want that to have some longevity and you want that portability, it is going to cost you, a pretty penny, because they have to build those at a really high spec in order to get that longevity out of there. Because typically with most gaming laptops, it's about the only thing that you can really do to change out the parts inside is going to be, you could switch out to a larger hard drive, or you could switch to a solid state drive if you wanted. You could add new memory. Most laptops that I've seen and worked on, not all but most, the video card is incorporated into the motherboard. So you're not going to be replacing that video card, 4 or 5 years down the road to get more longevity out of that. And I think that they do make some, or at least I've seen some external video cards that you can plug in. So that is an option that you can get some more longevity out of a system by doing that. But I've never tested or used any of those, so I don't know exactly what the performance is like with those.
Okay. Thank you very much for your helpful advice, Drac. Thank you very much. I shall do some research into this matter, as well as looking into the research between the £60 game, and the microtransactions. Thank you very much, Drac. Thank you very, very much.
No problemo. Alright, so if you stuck with us through that for that long, keep around after the break, because we've got an interview with a developer we talked to before, vDex, who had previously worked on Serious Online. He is working on a new project through a game jam that's going on right now called The Night. And right after the break, we'll be back with that interview.
Hi, my name is Tabitha. I'm the artist of the night, and I've made up those little magical sandwiches for you to snuck up in the woods. That kind of sounded weird.
That's kind of spooky, but okay. Happy days.
Kind of.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the C Block. For those of you that have stuck through it and listened to Drac and me bleat on about random things that we found interesting, we've managed to pull in a friend of ours, a guy called Dex, or vDex if you want to get personal, to talk about CFN GameJam. Drac, say hi to all the guys that are still there, and then we can speak to Dex. Yay!
Hi to all the guys that are still there.
As you can see, it's already getting funny. So, hi everyone, I'm Dex, and you probably know me from the Serious Online episode. If you don't, watch it.
Yeah, thank you. Again, with Serious Online, you always killed my questions before I even asked them, Dex, again. But, yes, guys, Dex is the gentleman that developed Serious Online. Serious Online was a MMO that I played a little bit of. It was quite nice, interesting. Dex, do you want to tell everyone a bit more about Serious Online, where it's headed to, and then we can move on to CFN GameJam?
Of course, Serious Online is currently on hiatus, so I can learn Unreal Engine 4 and take care of my finances, because making an MMO is always a very hard strain on a wallet.
Yes, I agree. I do agree. Right, so Serious Online is on a slight hiatus while Dex gets his all his shit in one sock. Sorry, all his I can't say shit because we'll get flagged. Thank you, YouTube. All his affairs in order. I think I'll act and speak correctly from now on. So, Dex, please, CFN GameJam. How did you manage to get into that? What was the story behind it, dude?
The story behind it, I've been member of the CFN community for quite a while. Half a year by now, I think. And I've hit a creative roadblock, so I didn't know what to do. After Serious went on hiatus, I just sat here doing nothing, watching cat videos on YouTube, you know the spiel. And
you poor soul, you poor soul, you.
Come on now, cat videos are actually pretty entertaining.
Oh, Drac, you poor soul. You poor soul. I'm going to send you both to Jim Sterling. He will restoke those fires within you.
I actually was retweeted by Jim Sterling.
You what?
Yeah, I were. Retweeted.
Oh, no, I need to tell me about good old Jimmy boy. Go on. Do tell us the story.
Did you remember his SEO Juice episode, where he talked about all these SEO optimizers getting on his nerves?
Oh, yes. I remember that episode quite fondly.
I made an in-game ad, which is still inside Serious Online, displaying those SEO Juice boxes with orange juice in it. And tweeted it to him. Mate.
Another one of your funny Easter eggs in game. Yeah, well done, Dex. Well done.
Indeed. I sat there doing nothing, and then the admin of the community, a brave guy called Computer Figure, posted the CFN GameJam for Halloween, and I thought, it's 9 days left, so I'm already late, but why not? I need something to do in my life. At this case, I signed up, and then I thought, well, what should I do? And where do I get an artist? So, do first, think later.
jump in with both feet, suffer the consequences. I like it. But for anybody listening who may not know what a game jam is, how about you tell the folks how the process works and what exactly it is that you've jumped into?
A game jam is a gathering of developers who agree to make a game in a certain amount of time. This game jam was 15 days originally long, and the rules were the game has to work on Windows. We have to be creative. Assets were allowed, so pre-bought things and free things, but within range. Most things have to be done yourself. The game has to work on a normal monitor, so no touch input or anything else fancy. And the team has maximum of 4 people. That are the rules, and if you do that, by those rules, you're free to go. Normally, game jams have a theme, and in this case, it's obviously Halloween. Make a spooky game.
I'm just thinking we might need to isolate him saying spooky, because that was kind of cool.
Oh yes, spooky Halloween. We will do that. We'll do it. So Dex, why did you decide to do this game jam with 9 days left? Are you looking to challenge yourself today, my good man?
I was bored. Actually, I'm getting benefits from the state here in Germany.
Ooh.
So I have to take part of some Get Intelligent thing. We're teaching you how to apply for a job. You absolutely don't want it, we force you into it. And they told me already, you have that and that school attended, so do what you want. I brought my laptop, which I got gifted, and started developing, and I thought, let's go. Let's do this. I have a few ideas. I have no art, but I have ideas.
And I'm actually apologetic. I feel sorry for you for being on state benefits, mate. It's not a nice thing. Let me tell you, it's not a nice thing.
I don't know, Bamm. It almost sounds like you might need to move to Germany. You needed to replace your laptop, don't you?
I tell you what, mate. It's not necessarily a matter to joke about. I don't need to change my laptop, but I don't want to go anywhere near state benefits. Let me tell you, mate. No, thank you. For Dex to openly admit it, he's a braver man than me. Whew, much braver man than me. Well done, dude. Well done. So tell me, why are you developing this specific spookiness, and is there any bacon in this?
We already talked about that off screen, if there will be any bacon in it, and I'll leave that revelation up to you, if you feel like it. So right now there will be no bacon, unless Bamm decides.
Hey dude, if you need a voiceover for anything bacon related, I'm there. I'm there, I'll do it, I'm there. I can't draw for shit. Bacon. Yum. Bacon. So
I might even cook bacon and crisp it into the microphone.
Oh, do that. do that. So why have you gone ahead for this specific art style? Is it because of the quickness, the efficiency? Dude, tell us a bit more about the art style.
I first only had the idea. I wanted a dude running around in the forest in the style of Don't Starve, if you've played that. And then Don't Starve is isometric, so you look in a 45-degree angle onto the forest and the character. And I wanted to avoid zombies, a bit quick, a bit funny, with quite some atmosphere. And therefore I asked for an artist, and a friend of mine started saying, I might do the art, let me see, and she already made characters for me, she made the trees, and it just fitted. A lot of people are having a lot of fun, and I'm keep getting sent more high score screenshots from that. And the art style, I like it. It's something different. It's not out of the ordinary, out of the box. It's something unique. You don't see that much.
You, sir, are a lying Turag. I'm looking at one of the screenshots, the WASD keys, right? And I'm seeing a bacon, lettuce, tomato with cheese and olive sandwich right there. You lied to me, Dex. You lied. I'm looking at a bacon sandwich right there, my good man. I do like the art style. It is quite cartoony. It suits the game, yeah. Quite nice.
It's not bacon. It's ham.
What? Oh, well. Potato. Ham, still pork. Yeah.
I specifically I especially requested it to be a ham sandwich with cheese.
I'm going to disown you, Dex, in about 3 seconds if you don't change your mind.
You already know there's going to be bacon as a separate pickup.
Okay, I'll let you off. I'll let you off. Just this once, though.
Ham, bacon's less popular cousin. So you said this is a little bit like Don't Starve, or at least inspired by. What kind of game mechanics besides, WASD running around? What kind of other things can we expect while playing the game?
Right now, nothing else. You have to avoid zombies, they will chase you, and collect oil to fill up your lamp, which runs out. So it's survive as long as possible, and the game gets procedurally harder the longer you play.
Does the screen go completely dark when the lamp runs out, or is there any kind of moon?
When the lamp runs out, the screen goes dark, and you die.
Oh, okay, so you can't keep just running around trying to avoid zombies by sound alone then.
Exactly. Each zombie is unique in behavior. Some may avoid the light, some may just watch you from behind the trees. Spooky! And some will chase you, and when they touch you, you die.
Why am I getting a Rick and Morty sort of feel to this sort of cartoon style and this game style? But what you think makes sense doesn't necessarily make sense. Why would a zombie stand behind a tree and watch you? That doesn't make sense. But I get a Rick and Morty sort of feel to this.
We try to be a contrast to all these other games which are going for the serious spooky style. So trying to be jump scares or just outright terrify you. We went with a more comedic approach. So the character often tells you that he's finding it absolutely disgusting that the game dev dropped him in this shitty forest.
Nothing wrong with a bit of humor, Dex. Nothing wrong with a bit of humor.
So, yeah, before the humor aspect of it, I was thinking it sounded like a lethal game of tag. So now I'm expecting that when the zombies tag you, they actually tickle you to death.
Not really. The screen just goes to your gravestone, which is wrongly spelled, and it tells you, "Here lies Ed. He made some grave decisions." His name actually was Bob, but no one will remember anyhow. And all that stuff. The character occasionally will start singing, and it's me that's singing. I made all the voices, including the zombies.
What songs is he singing? Go on, do tell. Go on, tell me.
He's going to sing "Spooky, Scary Skeletons" and "Shivers Down My Spine." Catchy tune.
I was hoping for a Beyonce song, but hey, we all hope. We can all live and dream one time, I suppose.
Your character can sing...
What, all my single zombies?
You've been touched by a smooth criminal.
That's not Beyonce, that's Michael Jackson.
Look the same.
I know, but Michael Jackson did a song with zombies, didn't he? But that was a Smooth Criminal one, not the zombie one. But, yeah, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Thriller.
There we go. Thriller, baby.
So vDex, you said you did the voiceover for all of this. How about you give us a preview of some of the zombie sounds you've done?
I will not recreate the amount of work it took to create a zombie, because it took some gurgling with coke and... doing very naughty things with my nose and my mouth.
What on earth possessed you to do this? You're bored? You wanted a challenge? You want something to do? Is that basically it?
That's what started it, and once we actually got into the stage where the trees and the main character Bob were at it turned into fun, and it's the most fun I've ever had making games in the past years. Serious became kind of a chore. So I had to do this, I had to do that, because people kept wanting this, and I had to fix that bug. And with the night I could just go wild. I let my imagination play and go on, do this. And add that, and be weird on the microphone.
Well, hang on. An indie dev making a game because he's enjoying it and having fun. Good God. They don't find many of those.
So that's kind of part of the game jam, actually having fun doing this. I'm really, really proud of that shading system. It's handwritten. The trees casting shadows based on how far you're away.
Dude, seriously, you gotta get a Michael Jackson zombie in there, please.
He just said he was having fun with this game because he wasn't having to add things from people's requests, and now you're requesting for him to add things.
I'll add it to the list.
I know, but my God, can you just go watch South Park, right? And go watch the South Park version of Michael Jackson. That's all you need. That's all the inspiration you need for a Michael Jackson zombie. I'm bad. I know, I'm bad.
Oh, yeah, nice pun.
Yeah, he got it! Michael Jackson pun, he got it! Well done, Drac.
You know you're fat. I know that's Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, I like Weird Al, man. Weird Al's great. He's brilliant as Weird Al. Alright, Dex, you've told me why you've done this, how you've gone about doing this. You joined it at 9 days. It's only got 7 days left. You're having fun, which is almost unheard of in a game. Who else is developed? You said there's a team of 4. Who else is...
It's a team of 2.
Oh, sorry.
A team of 4
apologies.
is the maximum.
Apologies. Team of 2. Apologies, Dex. Apologies. Team of 2. Who else? You said it was a friend of yours. What can you tell me about your friend?
Well, we met in a streamer community and had light contact, and she's a pretty great drawer. Artist. Drawer. No, drawer is the furniture kind. Artist.
Yeah, artist. Yeah, let's just say artist, mate. Yeah.
Would be strange if she would be a drawer. Oh, images in my head.
Yeah, a bit strange. No, don't go there, Dex. Don't go there. Artist, mate.
Of
artist,
course.
Yeah.
And yeah, after she started drawing, she also began to have fun doing this. So yeah, I wish she would have been awake to join us, but alas, the night is calling.
Yeah, she's currently asleep. You said this was off mark. You said she was actually asleep.
I guess, yeah, she's offline, so she might be asleep.
So can you tell me a bit more about the CFN community? You said there was a CFN GameJam. Tell me a bit more about the CFN community, please, mate.
The CFN community is a great bunch of people, just developers, press people, media guys, all kinds of people, thrown together in a big Discord server of over 3,000 people soon, where we exchange tips, talk to each other, just having fun. Streaming, making videos, support each other.
Wait, hang on. Are you saying you're in the higher top echelons of the first 1,000? Have you got like a special number or something? I am number 9,000.
I've been there since the first 1,000. So I've seen 2,000 people join that server.
Oh my God. So you do have a special number then?
I am one of the moderators. I do have a special number. I even have a special color. I'm blue.
Oh, my color on our Discord server is pink because I like pink.
Like bacon.
Correct. So there's nothing else you can tell me about the CFN community that are doing a game jam. Nothing else. They just a great bunch of guys developing games, creating videos, doing streaming, and that's it.
We have Game Press, Games PR, so if you actually are a game dev and looking for a PR company, they're also here. Obviously, quite a bit of devs. I'm still scrolling.
Wow.
Still scrolling. Oh, there they are. Music and audio guys, artists, streamers and video creators, and of course gamers.
3,000 people. That's pretty cool, man.
It's easier to coordinate if you're a game dev with other people. As gamers, if you want to promote your game, or as a gamer, if you're looking for games to promote. As game PR, you can connect to other games PR companies, or even game devs if you're looking for someone to bolster your portfolio. Quite a few teams have been built on there.
Good lord. Good lord. So, off mic, we were talking about DLC going to this game. What type of DLC are you thinking about adding?
Oh, long term, we're going to work now to release this game on Steam with more levels, more characters, with individual voices, so prepare for more mouth acrobatics. In the long term, we're gonna add some characters and levels like Cityscape, which take a lot more to develop, and special characters like, let's say, Bamm. The bacon-eating ham sandwich.
Let's just face it there. Bamm doesn't need a lot of development at all. More Neanderthalic than Homo sapien, if you know what I mean.
But he needs voicing.
So when you add additional characters, are you intending them all just to play pretty much similar to each other, but it's cosmetically different? Or are you going to give different features to each character?
Each one gets his own special ability. When we're done, Bob, the main character you can play now, will have the ability to run for a certain time of second after you collected some... what's the word on English? Let me check that. Furious typing ensues.
Speed boost, running shoes, Sonic the Hedgehog power boost.
Ointment.
Ointment, running ointment. Okay.
Yeah, so you don't get blisters on your feet. The second character, called Line, is going to be able to throw cats at zombies.
Hang on, what?
So is this like an old cat lady or something that's just got like a backpack full of cats with her?
You have to collect rainbow eyes to be able to fire cats.
Is this person in a wheelchair by any chance?
No. The third character, which is going to be free, so we're starting with 3 free characters and 3 maps, which is enough for a $5 game, is going to be Inspector Keenet, which is going to be a trenchcoat detective type, which can store up to 30 seconds of lamp oil in his beard. If you want to get it out, you have to find a comb. And he will comment on that he can wrench oil out of his beard.
I don't know whether to be happy or disgusted. So you said it was a $5 game, and this is launching on Steam. So after the Game Jam, it is still going to be made into a fully fledged sort of game, and you're going to sell it for $5. Brilliant!
I've been looking at all the other games and I've already rated them. That's encouraged, obviously, so we can see what each other is doing. And I've all rated them according to how well they play. I might get a few points deducted because it's not that scary, even though I use Comic Sans in the menu. That might be scary enough.
So have you looked at what some of the other developers are doing as well? Does that kind of push you guys along or give you inspiration for what you're working on, or you just keep pretty much to your own little thing while you're finishing it up?
I've played all of them. Some of them are really good, some of them lack in execution, some of them lack in graphics, some of them lack in both.
Yeah, sometimes I think, at least as far as graphics go, it's more important, like, does the art style fit the game, not, necessarily how advanced the graphics themselves are.
Yeah, if you put your entire kit of Unity Store assets into a blender and make a game from that, I don't think that can turn out well.
That's a good point.
Wait, what? You mean people are buying assets off the Unity Store and just copy and pasting them into the game?
Of course. That's been a huge issue in the game dev industry for quite a year now. You mentioned Digital Homicide before.
Yeah, I did mention Digital Homicide along with a few others, but I tend to mention that in confidence, Dex. Yeah.
That hasn't happened in this game jam, but some of those games really have the asset store feel to them. Nobody can tell me they can craft an entire library with houses and everything in just 15 days, including code and everything.
Oof, so you've gone for the full sort of Monty with this one. You've done your own thing, I take it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to lighter sides of bits and pieces. Dex, your game jam thing that you've developed called The Night. Where can people go to actually view it, rate it, and have a go at it?
You can have a go at it for free at vectordex.itch.io
/The Night.
/The Night if you want to see just The Night. But from that URL you can see all my games.
Yay, all his games. Yay. Even Cirrus Online, which is on hiatus, temporarily on hiatus. Right.
I patched it to be offline, Series Online, so you can...
Oh, so Series offline, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so if people want to go and review it, do they actually have to go to the Game Jam site?
You can go to the Game Jam site. It's pointed up in the upper part of the page when you hit The Night. It's rate submission for CFN Halloween Game Jam. And I'd be very thankful for a comment lining out if you found something strange or unusual, or if you find one of those many Easter eggs I still had time for.
Go on, you've piqued my suspicions now. Easter eggs, please do tell me, what Easter eggs have you got in there? I'm not asking where they are, I'm asking what they are.
You might already have seen the headstones with "Ed" on it. That has a very specific meaning. I had a rather strange dream, and someone took the liberty of drawing said dream creature, and I brought it in-game.
Okay, right. Anyone that finds anything weird in the game, yeah, please, leave a comment, because Dex is still a weird person.
Thank you.
Right, well, guys, seriously, that is basically it. The game itself can be downloaded on vDex itch.io/the night. Go download it, have a bit of fun with it. I'm actually going to go do it. It's not CPU intensive as a Dex, please, because my 10-year-old laptop can't run this thing if it is.
My laptop is also 10-year-old, has a dual core, and it runs very fine.
Happy days. I'm going to go download it tonight then, and I'll give it a bit of a play. Do you mind if I record some footage of it?
Not at all. Have fun with it.
Happy days. Happy days. Happy days. How much time can I get out of playing this game? 5-10 minutes? Or can I carry on as long as I keep finding these bits and pieces?
As long as you have fun and can survive. Some people only make it to 10-12 seconds. The highest record was 109 seconds.
What? You mean people can't last more than 2 minutes?
You get a score. 109 seconds was the record. Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Well, the elitists among us might enjoy this game. The casuals among us might not.
I've seen quite a few people play it on video and they're having one heck of a fun.
Brilliant! I'm gonna go and play this game. Happy days.
Oh, I had a quick question for him about one of the other ones he developed. Space Pug. The Pugalicious Space Shooter. What, aside from pugs in general, what was your inspiration for that one?
My former publisher had a bunch of Pug games. Super Turbo Pug, Turbo Pug, Turbo Pug 2. And I joined in on that craze with him. So I made this rather stupid space game. Which is just you control your Pug with a mouse and shoot asteroids and cats.
I can see why you pulled the pug. Pug. Meow, 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 meow. Sorry, I can't
All right, then.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I'm so sorry. Right, Dex, dude. That is essentially it. It's a very small game, which unfortunately we can't really ask too many questions about it. But people, again, have come along to hear about yourself, hear about the game you've actually made in the Game Jam. They can go comment, rate it, all those bits and pieces. And it's good to see it's actually going to go onto Steam, where people like, Digital Homicide or whatever they want to, or Suicide rather, whatever they want to, they're being, Anyway, long story shorter, thank you very much for joining us, Dex. Thank you very much. This has been a very, very fun chat with you. It always is a good time to have a chat with you, mate.
Thank you. It was nice having me.
Groat! I don't know any Groat. Tell me the truth. Who are you? I don't believe that for a second.
He sidles blindly beside the cart, groping his way toward you.
I can't let you go. It's my job. It's why I'm here. Don't you understand? You're so dangerous.
He continues to grope toward you, his sword clenched tightly in his hand. He opens his eyes a fraction of an inch and winces, stumbling over a rock stuck in the mud.
Undead. They overturned the cart, dragged us out. They wanted to rip us apart. We beat them back, but they got Faray through the heart, got me across the face. Landing when I have a job here.
He pulls a pair of shackles out of his bag and holds them.
Nothing. Understand? Stay away. You're dangerous. You hear? I need to please. Don't make this any harder. You're dangerous. I need to keep you safe. I need to keep everyone else safe. Have you? They come in the night. I've seen it. Hold still. Please.